hit the button. So you make all the funny faces you want.
What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of the MulletCast, the podcast where business and pleasure collide. We just had probably one of the sickest lunches ever at the Iron Room in AC, courtesy of Chef Kevin Cronin. We're still left here with the remnants of our MulletCast. We got Ming, Kelly Fernandes, and Mike Murcia on board.
What's going on, everybody?
So we're going to talk a little bit of, we had a little free-range chicken, southern fried chicken sandwich. So now we're going to do a little free-range podcasting, talk about marketing, social media, different things you do that are unique to your business. I'll kick us off with something I do, which is podcasting, that I only know a handful of attorneys that do. And Ming has been our entry, our guide leading us into the world of podcasting.
You're a wise man, my friend.
That's right. So I'm pleased in 2018, we found the shared universe and launched the MulletCast. So that's been something that's been cool for me to do this year.
Yeah, how many episodes now? Almost.
Yeah, we've got 30 that are out on the streets.
That's awesome.
And then we've got a couple. We've got a couple in the can, so to speak. Wow. Right. And Kelly's been on the MulletCast quite a few times as well. Kelly, how do you feel about podcasting and how it helps promote your business?
I love podcasts. It just, I call this, I have a daily routine or a morning routine, and it's called, part of it's called going to the spiritual gym.
Right.
Which involves, reading, meditating. I think, if you're in the middle of doing something, it's always great to listen to podcasts, whether you're driving or,
Totally.
Maybe you're doing some upkeeping in your home or doing some office work. So I always have podcasts on. I love, just listening to it, getting inspired, just seeing what everyone's doing. And it's kind of been such a great gateway for people to share their stories. And I just find it to be very unique and informative.
I enjoy it. Kelly, the paparazzi has followed you to the Iron Room.
I'm having fun with the camera.
Snapping wildly.
Yeah.
Ming, I saw a lot of activity. I've obviously been to a shared universe a lot this year, so I've always seen all the logos of the various podcasts that come in and out. But recently, it seems like you guys are crushing it. A ton of people are in podcasting. What's the latest over at a shared universe?
Yeah, well, it's things guys like you. Most of our business is built off word of mouth right now, and
Right.
it's still a very new medium. But I love that guys like you are discovering the power of it, and I just love that all these walls that used to be put in front of us when we
Right.
wanted to do something are all completely gone. They've been obliterated. We can start our own podcast, aka they're basically radio shows.
Right.
You can start your own TV show if you want and put it up on YouTube.
Right.
And some people get more viewers than they would get if they were on TV. So
It's true.
it's pretty crazy. So my goal is now just to hit every business, not only every business but everyone.
Right.
I think everyone should be doing this. And I think we've been open since the beginning of the year. It's almost a year now.
Wow.
And I think I've seen that. Yeah, I was like, wow, this might actually work as a business.
That's cool.
Before it was more of me. It's like when I find something I really love doing, I love spreading it out to everybody else.
Right.
And if you make a living at it, that's a nice bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And what I'm seeing is that love is being transferred to other people. So. But now I just want everybody to come in.
That's cool. Do you know how many episodes have been recorded at your studio?
I looked out. I have uploaded personally because we have a feed which you can follow on iTunes if you just search A Shared Universe. We've uploaded to date I think a total of 210 podcasts.
Wow.
Nice.
That's
throughout
cool.
the year, and a lot of podcasts such as yours. You upload your own episodes now.
Right.
You guys have gotten your own feeds, so that doesn't even count those.
Right.
So I believe we've got to be closer to 300 at this point.
That's awesome.
Nice.
That's really cool. It's funny, a lot of people mention podcasts, right?
Yeah.
But to me, in a weird way, it's almost not the most up-to-date technology, right? Like you said, you could start a television show and things like that. So podcasts almost seem a little bit old-fashioned, but they're really cool. So it's a unique thing, I find.
Yeah, I've run into some people. It's like, why didn't you just shoot this why don't you video this?
Right.
And I'm like, well, you can't watch a video in your car. You can't
Right.
watch a video as you're running. You can't can't watch a video in the background, so you have to pay attention to it. It's really a unique
And I think that's a huge
medium,
thing.
and
Right.
it really makes it stand out. And even though it's old school, radio dates back to 19th century.
Right.
It's still hearing that human voice, a recorded human voice.
Yeah.
You still hear all the passion and emotion and everything else that goes with it. I think they'll go on forever.
That's true.
I think it changes the people that are on too. So, radio's great. I listen to Z100 and like what all the usual stuff, right? And I've listened to Z100 my entire life.
I never would have pegged it for that. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
I driving to school. My mom listened to it, so I still, it's one of my.
You're a morning zoo guy.
I'm a morning zoo guy. Yeah, Elvis Duran. Yeah, 100%. But I think people act differently if they knew that they were being filmed and there was a script.
Right.
Where you have this opportunity where it's just you and a mic and you're in a conversation and you could kind of say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Whatever thought comes to mind, however the flow goes. There's no concrete script. So like YouTube's cool. It's a cool outlet. But a lot of those are scripted things, and this is an opportunity for someone to just have a conversation and it gets recorded.
Right.
So
That is cool.
Also, it just opens like a huge opportunity for different types of audiences, just because, like you said, YouTube is on video. I mean, for a podcast, you could be at the gym listening to it. You could be in your car. You
All
can
the time,
be,
yeah.
like anywhere really, and not have to have a screen in front of you to get the information. Where sometimes, like, I do want to listen to something on YouTube, but I want to wait until I can watch it.
Right.
Which this you can just turn on whenever you want. So.
Yep, that's cool. What's your go-to marketing other than podcasts?
So podcast is a lot of fun.
Yep.
I'm pumped that you asked me to get involved with the MulletCast when you
Right.
first were thinking about it. I've made relationships with people that I wouldn't have.
Right.
And it's not business relationships. It's like personal. Like, let's follow each other on Instagram. Like Jackie Sharp's probably the best example from Purple
I
Glaze.
love Jackie. Yeah.
She likes every picture I post of my kids, right?
Right.
And I like every picture she posts of whatever they're doing on the weekends.
Yep.
And there's no business tied to it whatsoever.
Right.
But I know if I'm in the area and I need a donut, she's the first person that comes to mind,
That's
right?
right.
And and it's like, so I've gotten those relationships through podcasts because it's one-on-one or us two talking to somebody and it's
Right.
very personal. It's in a cool setting at the studio and it's a lot of fun.
Right.
As far as business related, what my primary platform is, it's Instagram.
Yep.
A mortgage guy on Instagram sounds boring, so I try to keep my Instagram, my mortgage guy _ Mike, as blended as I could with beer, food, local events, Asbury Park stuff, fishing.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah, fishing, wrestling.
Wait,
and
so
then,
you don't have that arrow that goes like this showing interest rates? And
well, no, I don't. I don't post about rates. I'll if I do post something, it's a very quick headline or it's a stat. Like I just posted I think my last post was December's the best month to buy a home.
I saw that one. Yeah.
And
That's
it's
cool.
statistically, it's all 10 dates that fell in the year, in a fiscal year. December is all 10.
Wow.
Because of less buyers, the weather shifts, spending, there's less competition out there. There's a number of things, but so Instagram has been my go-to.
That's
I hit
cool.
1,000 followers last month, and for me,
Nice.
I don't buy leads, I don't promote anything. It's all organic. I'm pretty pumped about it. I know we're sitting here with these two. One's
Right.
got 46,000.
44.1. But
44.
counting.
Kelly, you're almost at 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but for me, I've gotten leads from it. There's people that I haven't spoken to. Not even kidding. In years since grade school, it's tied to my Facebook, which I don't use a lot. I just share it on my Instagram. And, it's good.
Honestly, I don't think it's really about the number of followers you have. It's more about the loyalty your
Yes,
followers
if they're
have
real.
towards you.
100%.
Because I just noticed that with other pages, you can see which ones are authentic and others that are not genuinely, there
Yeah.
for the best interest of their audience. So I think it's more about how much your engagement is with your audience. So one day it would hope to be like as high as Ming's numbers, but
Oh, you'll be there very soon, my friend.
but I'm really grateful and happy about the numbers I do have and the fact that I get so many personal messages every day and comments. Like that makes me really happy.
I've
And
noticed on your page you've been blending in more personal pictures.
Yeah.
So
That
what
was really
made that
hard.
shift? Yeah.
So it was very interesting. So my Instagram page at the beginning, when I started my career, actually was my original personal page, and I ended up deleting all of my photos and archiving them. And then, because I was like, what's the point of me starting a new page when I could just, keep the followers I have and then just add new pictures.
Yeah.
But then it was all real estate the first few years. And then I realized like something clicked in my mind. It was just like, people are, yes, they're going to hire me because of my professionalism and my knowledge, but they're going to hire me because they believe in me and my personality and that we work well together. And I felt like a lot of people maybe didn't know my story as much, and I had to put more of me on my page. And I've noticed like those pictures are the ones that get so many likes and so much engagement. And that's when my like clients are like cheering me on again, like as my cheerleaders. So it's really fun. So I try to make it a good mixture of, obviously properties that I have, things that I've been selling, my like things like me personally. I went to a yoga retreat about, I forget now, like 2 months ago now. And that had nothing to do with real estate, but I love yoga. I actually go to the same studio Ming does. And, but that's something I just wanted to share to let my audience know that I do really believe in like health awareness and, exercising and, being spiritual and all of that and meditating. So that's something I wanted to share. And also part of it, it's like I know like a lot of people might not care, or people might care, or it doesn't really matter. It's what I want to share.
Yeah.
So,
I think it is the best way for people to get to know you, right? Says a lot about, all right, what's my experience going to be like working with Kelly? You don't find that out by looking at a picture of your listings.
100%.
Yeah.
So
So I think it's, you have to share your interests.
Right.
It makes it more fun and relatable, and you never know what someone else has in common with you. It's so surprising, and so, like the messages I get, I'm like, I'm into that too. You just really don't know.
Well, Evan, you've done that recently where, anybody that doesn't know Evan's just an attorney, is his background's in music. But because of your ties to Asbury and the music school there, Lakeside?
Yep. Lake House.
Yeah, Lake House Music
Music Academy.
Music Academy, there we go. Shout out. You just recently posted multiple pictures of local artists performing, and anybody that checks out your page or Googles your name and that pops up, they're like, oh, well, this is an attorney, but he has a whole other side of him, which is going to make you more appealing to somebody buying a home. In my opinion, that's what the goal is.
So it's
Evan
weird.
and I were in the same band at one point.
That's right. We rocked the house for
Yeah.
a night or two.
Wow.
Yeah. There was a hardcore rhythm section as I was on bass and Kelly was on drums. It was intense.
Was that at the school?
At the Lake House Academy.
Well, this is
That's awesome.
This is how super groups get formed. I believe the Eagles. They were.
I believe
big
this
stuff.
is a MulletCast exclusive.
Yeah.
It's like breaking news. No, but it's interesting. It's like I had the same sort of question like Kelly had, right? It's like, all right, I'm an attorney, so do you want your social media to be like, it's like you said, an attorney feed on Instagram? Like, what is it? You know? Like,
There's
I was
there's only so much you could put.
I was at the
and-
Best
yeah.
conference recently. This dude, he's a website developer, and he did like he had a presentation, and he's talking about like, all right, let's look at the stereotypical like law firm websites, right? So the first one is the huge courthouse steps. So he like pulls this up, and he's like, oh. So what does this mean? Congratulations, you take stairs to get to your office. Like, I take an elevator. I don't put that on my website,
Yeah.
Like, so, I was like, you got to break out of that mold, like, because most people view going to an attorney probably like, going to a dentist and getting teeth pulled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't, like a pleasant experience doesn't come to mind.
You the first thing you think is like it's cold almost, or it's like
Yeah.
you don't want it to be that dry
It's a
experience.
typical thing in your industry. It's just not fun. I mean,
Right.
I ended up I'm from Little Silver, which is a small town, and not a lot of people know much like what there is to offer there. And sometimes Monmouth County is so big, and there's all these different towns, and I just wanted to share. So I ended up taking pictures in my hometown, and then I was like, I did take these pictures in a market that I love, which is Sickles Market, and then I was like, how do I take this a step further? How do I make myself stand out or share who I am? So I did like this whole think it was like 5 fun facts about me, and I shared things that really had nothing to do with real estate. Like I'm a huge hockey fan, and most people are always like shocked by that.
Devils, right?
No.
She loves the
We know
Devils.
this. I'm a huge New York Rangers fan. And but it was just different fun
out.
thing. It was just different fun facts about me that people might typically not know, you know. I'm really into like marine science and like the environment and all of that too. So the more you share about your interests, I just think you're attracting the types of clients you want to work. And since I've shared that and I've been more open about how much I love hockey, I had a few clients that played hockey or like were ex-pro hockey players this year, which was like really awesome.
Cool.
So I think you're kind of attracting those clients too.
Right.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I post a picture of my kids, and they get the most like, and realtors that I want to work with, or you know, referral partners, you know, CPAs or financial advisors that I want to work with, they won't like a mortgage post. They won't like me, you know, somewhere networking. But I share one of my wife and my kids, and the feedback on that is worth the post,
Right.
because it just gives that insight.
Yeah, I was like, wow, these guys are human.
They're humans,
Yeah.
Right.
humans.
Totally. I mean, that's the secret. Ming, I love your feed because, like, we've talked about this on the podcast before. I feel like this is the type of place, like, you find across the country wherever you go, you know?
Yeah, I just recently found out there's a term for that. It's called a lighthouse. Like, you're a lighthouse if you find something like a cool restaurant or a cool bar, and then you tell everybody else about it. Yeah. Yeah, so that might
like
be
that.
the title of my eventual book.
Oh, that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
Ming's
Are you doing a book, like a foodie book?
Eventually, it's always in the back of my head.
Have you have notes? Like, do you have notes down already?
All my notes are in all my check-ins on social media. So
Right.
anytime I travel a lot, so I try to document my experiences.
The next Bourdain.
That would be my
Honestly,
dream job. Yeah,
yeah.
that would be
That'd be
my
killer.
dream job. But I document so other
Same.
people can maybe discover it. I also document so I remember where I've been because I go to
Right.
so many places. But yeah. I think in the end, you know, if I see your feed, it's like, oh, Mike loves Game of Thrones. He's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. I'm
That's
definitely.
I love
That's why-
Game of Thrones.
You got the Game of Thrones shared universe sticker.
Yeah.
Nice.
Podcast coming.
Which I'll get you one, Kelly. But you know, that I'm gonna work with you way more than some guy who doesn't work Game of Thrones or you know doesn't like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Right.
Possibly.
Yeah.
At least I know we'll have something to talk about.
Yeah. First time we met, we spoke about geeking it out for the
Yeah.
first 20 minutes.
Yeah,
That is
but I
cool.
think forming that connection over social media. I mean, you're so far away, really, physically, but you know that it's so important. So.
And then it's interesting, like, podcast is the same. Like, I've had people tell me, like, oh, I heard, you know, this, and this about you on one of the podcasts. So it's like another way for people to get into your lives and figure out, you know, you're a normal person, basically.
Yeah. Have you gotten any new referral partners from posting podcasts?
So it's weird is I've had more, like, I had a client call me up and like, oh, dude, the guy you interviewed was my high school like biology teacher
Oh,
or
really?
something, you know what I mean? So I've had people, like, weird connections like that. And then a lot of people that I work with, they I guess I see more relatable. It's like Instagram. You bump into someone on Instagram that maybe you've never met him in person.
Yeah.
Like, for me, the classic experience was I went to see Prim last weekend, and Kelly's told me about her a lot. Someone else told me, another guy told me about her live
She's
show
a Babes in
before.
Business, right? From Asbury?
I think she
Yes,
maybe.
and she used to do the Scout Guide social media too.
Okay, yeah,
So
yeah.
there's just
Yeah.
a lot of overlap.
Right.
Yeah.
So another musician, David Ruslan, had told me her shows are amazing. So I finally got to go see her last weekend. And then you see her in this place, and I follow her on Instagram, and it's like, so I feel like I know. You almost like walk up, oh, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
And like, meanwhile, she has no clue who I am. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So it's funny to, like, when those things collide. So I feel like that kind of experience has made me more relatable to people.
Mhm.
Like, they walk into something, like, it's not like there's this barrier between. It's not like attorney client. It's like they feel like, oh, I kind of know this guy. He's okay to work with.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the funny thing for me too is, like, where I work, right? So I'm above High Voltage Cafe and
Coolest
a bike
spot
shop.
ever,
So
yeah.
it's totally disarming. It's not like walking into a stodgy law firm, right? So I had a client come in the other day. It was actually
When we're sitting down?
when we were sitting down,
Yeah.
this dude came in to meet me about, it was like a new real estate client. And so the funniest thing was, like, we met talk about what we talk about. I see him leave, and I see he knows someone downstairs having coffee, so he sits down and has coffee with this person. You know, it's like, so
But
it's
that's
just
what you
this-
want, though, right?
totally. So
Yeah.
you know, like, all right, cool, I'm meeting the right kind of people, and so it's funny.
Ming, your studio has kind of got that
Same vibe.
same vibe where it's like, all right, wait, I'm in Eatontown on this weird strip. I pull up, there's a PD department right behind, it's Eatontown Police. You take the elevator up, they're doing renovations, and then you got this like kick-ass studio decked out in like Stan Lee gear and Avengers and DC and all this cool stuff. It's like that vibe that you bring in, and your social media has the same thing, obviously, but on a smaller scale, like you're bringing the same kind of people in for that same feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome when people, though, I started to realize like the power of social media when people were calling me out, that they were like, oh, that's you. Like, I recently, went somewhere. I was like getting my hair done, and I walked in and registered, and they're like, 3 of the people that work there was like, it's so great to meet you. Like, I follow you on Instagram. Like, I see that you do a lot in Asbury Park, and that always happens a lot to me. And I'm like, I still get shocked because it's just like, whoa, like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Because you're on. We're not physically seeing everyone every day. You're on this like platform communicating, but to meet them in person afterwards is just so exciting to see their feedback too and hear it.
It's working, Kelly.
That's
Yeah,
right.
it's
That's a
definitely
sign.
working.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It
but
is.
I think when I started, someone I like registered to an event. They're like, "It's so great to meet you," and I follow you, and I was like, "Wow, this is definitely the way this business is going."
Yeah.
And that's when I started to really take it seriously.
You think, as far as realtors, you think you're ahead of the game?
I think you know that answer.
I'm asking for anybody listening. I want.
I definitely do. I think that realtors are just starting to really doing social media this year. Like last year,
I've seen a lot. Like
last
pop
year
up, yeah.
barely anyone really did it. And I also, a lot of realtors, I feel like by their followers, you can tell when it's not really authentic.
Yeah.
They do. I mean,
yeah.
when it's like a little few likes and all of that, I am really proud of like my authentic audience, and I pretty much know everyone on there. It's really awesome.
You maximize that engagement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I feel like since realtors are just getting into it, they're just starting to understand it, where I've studied it a lot, learned a lot of the features, and it's always changing. That there's so much you can do with it. Like, you have video, you have, photography, you can now do live.
The stories are.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Right.
story. My days like today are great because I actually have content to put.
Right.
Like, I could take a picture with you.
Yep.
But
And-
every day
yeah.
there's content,
I know. I'm not creative enough. Maybe I have
But
more
I'm-
followers, but
Yeah, but
Right.
no, I mean, it's just about showcasing what you want to. And, there's some days where maybe I'm not displaying things, I'm just running around a lot.
yeah.
But also that makes it more authentic. It's not, I don't plan anything. It's just like, if something's happening and I want to share it, I do it then.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't schedule things out. I just don't feel, I tried to do that once and it just didn't feel natural to me.
Right.
So
That makes sense. All right, so let's do a little round the horn here. Kelly, what's a marketing or social media, something new you're going to try for 2019?
I think more videos. I would really want to do a video, like a introduction video of myself, and just going over the process. Like, I've had the seminar videos that I've done, but
Right.
I have a YouTube channel that I want to kind of
That's cool.
enhance a bit more. I have such amazing listing property videos, but I want to do more of me, just so potential clients can see my personality and what I have to offer.
I like
Sure.
it. Bang, what do you got?
Yeah,
on tap?
I may be jumping into that YouTube game as well. I've got video
Yeah.
content in my head.
Right.
It's just there's a lot of work that goes into production, editing, motion graphics,
Right.
things like that. Which is why I love podcasting so much. We record it, process it a little bit,
Yep.
a little bit editing, but you can have it up within 10 minutes of recording it.
Totally.
But that being said, why not?
Yeah.
I've got all the gear. I know
Right.
how to do it.
You're ready
It's
to
just-
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just doing it. So yeah, I'd love to get you guys involved somehow
Yeah.
as well.
Once
That's
you
cool.
figure it out, edit my video.
Yeah.
I would. Yeah. Oh God, I would love to, for sure.
Yeah, I mean that's
Oh, yeah.
something like I don't want to jump the gun on you, but like just to tie into that, like I've thought like we Facebook Live, so we've got video, like what, there could be a MulletCast YouTube channel of
100%.
tons of content.
Yeah.
Same thing.
30 videos right there.
Right.
Well,
totally.
today would be 33.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Uh,
What do you got?
Same boat.
Yeah.
I'm going to corporate. We actually have a studio at our corporate office where any sales rep could sit there. Whatever they're gearing it towards, we'll have the whole production side there, and they could edit it.
Right.
I've been hesitant because it's a weird thing being on video.
Yep.
Facebook Live behind a mic, that's on the side.
Right.
But actually saying, hey, I'm Mike. This is what we're going to do. This is the next step in your mortgage. But there's value there.
Right.
And that's the next thing I'm going to do. It's so, you're now under contract. What do you expect? I just locked your loan. What's to come? What's to
Right.
follow? And it's really just, I don't get the opportunity to sit face to face with all my clients all the time.
Yep.
They can follow me on social media. I can follow them, but it doesn't mean I'm constantly talking to them face to face. Obviously phone calls, but here's a video I could send, give them an update, explain what to expect on top of what they already know.
Right.
And that's 2019 videos.
I also feel like I want to do video because it pushes you as a professional, because it's so for me, it's really out of my comfort zone.
Right.
But then the more you grow and are putting yourself out there in video, I think you're just becoming more authentic too. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. There's no denying that the top realtor, top mortgage rep, top salespeople in the world, in the country, in the world, they're using video.
Right.
They're gearing their platforms towards video, whether it's on Instagram or on YouTube,
Right.
to expose themselves and whatever the content may be.
Yeah. And that's what I was thinking about before. It's like, to me, it's funny. It's like, so video seems like the future, but guys like Gary Vee are like, podcasts are the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do see like I agree, man. Like podcasts are 100%, but like video is something I'll add into 2019 as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's for those moments we all talked about when people can sit down and actually look at something. It's important to have. And part of it.
I was gonna
Nah,
shout out Marvin really quick.
Yeah, Marvin Flavian.
MK Flav.
K-Flav.
Yeah.
That guy's been preaching video for like nonstop for a year. I've seen him online everywhere. But he has an interesting concept, which is, create a commercial about your business, basically. And so I think that is a good thing, like, because someone can look at that and then just like Instagram, just like podcasting, they can learn about you that way. And then, like you said, you can use video for different parts of, let's say if it's a real estate transaction.
Yeah, we have real estate transaction has a lot of moving parts.
So you could break it down and
You
here's
break
what's going to happen in this.
If you have a video already, you could send it out, and you could take somebody that at a moment could feel like they're kind of in a lost position for whatever reason, right? And that goal is to not keep them from that, but they'll get a video and they'll know they could watch it and learn. But
Totally. And then I think, I'm gonna give a shout out to Ming's his merchandising for Shared Universe also, because I've got like stickers all over my stuff. But Ming, that sweatshirt, the Shared Universe, you look so comfortable in that sweatshirt and every one of your photos. I'm like, man, I need one of those things.
So we have
in
another
20
batch coming, my
All
friend.
right, cool.
Do you?
Within
Do you?
2 weeks, yeah.
Okay. All right,
And
sweet.
it is. I took great pains to make sure it was one of the best sweatshirts
It looks
ever
awesome.
made.
So I'm definitely gonna add that to my repertoire for 2019
Yeah.
as well. Maybe like we can put a little MulletCast patch on the sleeve or something.
Let's talk about that. Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be sweet.
I think Ming needs a shared universe tattoo.
Yeah, that too.
We'll see. I have to get past the first
Johnny
year
Tickle
first.
Fingers?
But
Yeah. We gotta get a bet going of some kind.
All right, so let's wrap it up with this. We had a phenomenal lunch at the Iron Room in Atlantic City today, along with Ming's love of podcasting. He's been with us on a lot of mobile podcasting outings, and this was a sweet one.
This was
one
fun.
for the memory books. So during our last break, we had the phenomenal burger and a Southern fried chicken sandwich. So let's go around. Everyone give me a little take on your lunch. For me, the burger melted in my mouth. Like, it was phenomenal.
I'm going bacon. That bacon was
The bacon was
the
insane.
bacon was unreal.
That was insane.
I've never had bacon that fat, and that was delicious. So
That was badass.
Yeah, bacon.
For sure.
yeah, big mix of flavors. Udon mac and cheese, which they feature, which I've never had anywhere else. I've had a lot of mac and cheese, my
Right.
friends, in the south, in the north, everywhere.
Right.
But this is
That's up
definitely
there.
unique and amazing. and they use udon noodles, which is very unique.
That
and,
was cool.
It's a great cheese delivery system.
So
Good delivery system.
Delivery
Totally,
system.
There we
it's a
go, I love
cheese
that.
delivery system.
I really like the arancini with like the Asian sauce. Like
That
you
was
really
good.
don't see that much. It's more Italian. So I really like their take on it. It was really flavorful and super delicious. So
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a place to come down and get a lot of small plates and really kill it. And then you paired it with some. There's a huge craft beer selection.
So
here.
yeah, so
What'd
I
you
had,
get?
I had Icarus from Lakewood. I had Maine Co, which was a nice IPA, and then I actually, before heading over to the Realtor convention, I got a Cascade Sour, which is phenomenal. And I didn't like it, obviously, because I chugged it in like 3 sips. But yeah, the craft beer is phenomenal.
That's
Yeah,
good.
and next time we come here, I think we should try the wines. Could do a wine selection.
Yeah, that's
I'm
actually
down.
what
Yeah.
they're. I think that's what they started out as, a bottle shop. So
Yeah.
they know their wines here.
Right, it looks pretty
well.
insane selection. All right, awesome. It's been killer podcasting live at the Iron Room in Atlantic City. Check them and out again at Iron Room AC on Instagram. Chef Kevin, check him out at Zero Mine. Evan Balmer, check me out on Instagram at Evan Balmer.
Mike Murcia, mortgage guy _Mike.
Ming Chen, you can start your podcast at ashareduniverse.com.
Kelly Fernandez _homes. I would love to reach out and do any collaborations and
Fernandes with the S.
with an
That's
S.
right.
So if anyone's looking, all right. Thank
That's
you.
cool. Thanks, everybody.